Today we want to talk about courtship and relationship.
Face to face, now they read my eyes. We dey talk with the young things where they touch you.
Back to the roots here on FaceToface TV, and today is a very special day once again. We want to check certain things concerning our lifestyle now and then, and today we want to talk about courtship and relationship. I have very wonderful men in the studio today. But today is very, very promising. I have with me His Royal Majesty Eze Prince Will. Eze Prince Will, although is a thinker and a traditionalist. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good day, viewers.
All right. We also have Pastor Kingsley U. Sunday. Pastor Kingsley U. Sunday is the pastor of Seventh-day Adventist Church. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good day, everyone.
And last but not the least, we also have Comrade Franklin Ekene Udunna. Comrade Franklin Ekene Udunna is a thinker and a philosopher. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right, today, just like I said, we want to, run check and balances. Our lifestyle today and then. How is it? Is there a drift? Has there been a shift from what used to be? How can we relate our lifestyle today with what used to be? Which one is better, if I may ask? And I want us to take this from the angle of courtship and relationship. His Royal Majesty, please, what do you have to tell us? What are your observations? Tell us how it used to be those days.
Okay, when you talk about marriage and courtship in those days, it's not a straight jacket thing. Our marriage in those days was more complex than we have today, in the sense that we can categorize marriage and friendship at least into three categories. Number one, we have a system of marriage where a young man sees a young girl, maybe a child of 8, 9, 10 years, and he's interested in getting married to her, and he betroths her at an early stage. Okay, maybe because of the family relationship. I'm a be a father, and my friend has a daughter, and I say my son will marry your daughter. So that is one kind of marriage, and the dictates and the practice in that kind of marriage is also different. Another classification that you have, why I say is quite complex in our society then, is because you also have a society that is predominantly polygamous. So the way a man who has 2 wives and is looking for the third one will cut that his third wife is not the same way a young man who just grew up and wants to cut a young woman will cut his wife. You see, I've given you 2 types of marriage now. Then the third one is a young man who is grown up and he sees a woman who he loves, and then he wants to get married to her. So maybe I should start from that one, which is the most common one that we know. In our old settings, when a young man comes of age and he wants to settle down and to get a wife, the first thing that our tradition demands is that you do what we call ijuese. You don't just run into a marriage. If you see a young woman that you are attracted to, the first thing you do is what we call background check, ijuese. You or your kinsmen will go and look out for her family. There are certain things you want to find out. You want to find out if they are marriable. By marriable, I mean if they are not part of the Osu.
Okay.
Because then, if you are from the Osu system or lineage, you are not marriable. So when they have certified that the lady is not from the Osu family, they begin to check if they have traces of madness in the family. That is our own lab. The current lab we do. That's how we do it. They go and check if there is the traces of madness in the family. If they discover that either the father or the mother was once mad, or even the grandmother was mad, they will start dragging their feet in the marriage. Then the third thing that they check is they want to see if the mother was left her father's house. They want to see if there are traces of divorce in their lineage. Do they stay in their husband's house? You know, because they say like father like son, in the same way like mother like daughter too. So if the mother had a record of leaving her father's house, her husband's house, the man will also begin to drag his feet. So it is when you have certified these things that this woman is marriable, they don't have a lineage of a trace of madness in their family, and the mother is virtuous, you now begin to think about the second stage. Let me stop here for now.
All right, from the ones you've already said, there are so many things that will really come up from there, but before then, let me ask Comrade Uduna frankly, so how do you see marriage or courtship relationship now? How is it done now? So let us know.
Okay, thank you so much. I will start by saying now we are more compulsive than conscious when it comes to courtship and relationship, and we are also obsessed to get to know things now. We are not so much interested in the processes as it stands now. Just like we have trending around the hunt game show, where they will just come up and then pick their spouse, and then they go. So
the matchmaking.
So for now, there is the processes has been cut short, and we are more the two words. We are compulsive and obsessed. Thank you.
All right, so let me just ask. Today, I've overheard some young ladies say they can't finish suffering in their father's house, and they will still go to a man's house and suffer. Are you getting me? So, what do you have to say about, like, as if just like what you said, very compulsive and obsessed, as if everything that has to do with relationship, marriage now is built on this materialism. Are you getting me? Fantasy. Once you see it glittering, maybe if it doesn't seem like something that is already established, especially for a greater number of ladies there, they are not in. So what do you have to tell us about that?
Okay, let me start by saying, first thing, when you talk about relationship, there are different types or kinds of relationship, but we are specifying now on body-based relationship. Now, being a body-based relationship, most ladies are no longer interested in what we call love. So it has now become, they are after transactional relationship. And in transactional relationship, there is what we call variables and absolutes. There is no human relationship actually that is an absolute relationship. We are experiencing what we call variable relationship. Our relationships are variables in the sense that it's a give and take. When you stop maintaining it, it dies, or another person will take up from you. So when you see women say, I can't suffer now and then enter into a marriage where I will start suffering, is a misconception. Is also in the word I use as obsessed. They are miscrewed in the sense that they see it as a transactional relationship, and in that they are looking for someone who will bring them out of the poverty which their father couldn't alleviate them from. So, but the truth is that nobody wants to suffer. Every human being is looking for his well-being.
Okay, let's Pastor Kingsley use Sunday. You're here to strike a balance. Let us see from a very fair, how should this whole thing be? Considering what it used to be and how it is being done now, how should it be?
Thank you so much. Eze has really spoken well on the area of olden days. He spoke on the journeys that have been made. When a young man is ready for marriage, he goes and asks questions. how the family is. What are the threats in that family where he is going to marry from? And these are things that even in the Bible, it happened. There were questions, there were issues, marry from this tribe, don't marry from this tribe. This is to show that it is what was happening even in the olden days. And our brother has really spoken well on what is happening now. The truth is that when we want to go back to the roots, we'll see that the relationship at the olden days, we are more solid than what we have now. When we look at now, we see more of transactional, just as you said, transactional relationship, of which we don't blame the religion, we don't blame the culture we had, we blame the people. Because when the mentality of people have changed, as much as, yes, people go for the husband that has money. I used to tell my members, I tell them that poverty is not the fruit of the Holy Spirit. Yes, as much as poverty is not a good thing, but one should be wise, understanding that when it comes to relationship, love comes first before any other thing. Love comes first. So when we look at the olden days and look at now,
but Pastor, yes. Does love really exist?
Yes, love exists. Love exists. See, love is not all about money. Yes, money is good. But when we look at the issue of love, love is the thing that will make a young lady marry a poor man, struggle with the poor man, and they will become rich.
Can love really exist where there is no money?
Yes.
Sorry, sir. Uduna, do you agree with that? Can love truly exist where there is no money?
This yes, you said it's a yes or before.
Okay, that is yes or before. Okay, we are talking. You have to be realistic. The truth is, when we look at the society we are today,
yes,
you will see that nobody gives a damn. Nobody is interested. Nobody cares, and that is where the problem is, and that is why we have gathered here. And because when we look at it, it has led to many divorces. Do you understand? It has led to many broken homes. Many people you see in marriage today, some of them are smiling and suffering. Why? Because the primary thing was made secondary. Why the secondary thing was made primary? I see that materialism is secondary when it comes to marriage. Love is primary. Do you understand? You might be rich, but if there is no love, even if a rich man passes his car and come into the house, he will beat you to stupor. Rich people beat their wives. But when you have money and there is still love, you will enjoy the marriage.
In a practical sense, His Royal Majesty, does love truly exist where there is no money? In the practical sense.
The question is, what is love?
Okay.
So if we want to actually see love from what it is, from the divine perspective, we say love is God. So it's like asking if God can exist without money. Of course, God exists without money. Love exists without money. But I want to say something. You see, when we talk about marriage, we talk about roles. When you come into a marriage, you're coming into role playing. The man has roles to play. The woman has a role to play. And now, what are these roles? What are the roles of a man in a marriage? What are the roles of a woman in a marriage? First, we just have to admit, we just have to bring to fore the fact that women are creatures of comfort. Every woman that you know is a creature of comfort. A woman wants to be comfortable. She wants to go to a home where she's comfortable. And now that brings us to the role of a man. A man has two major roles in the family that I want to talk about. The first role is the role of a protector. In those days when men, we are men, and women, we are won by those who deserve them. The role of a man is the role of a protector. The role of a man is the role of a provider. So, when we say a man is ready for marriage, he can't be living in his father's hut or in his father's house and say he wants to get married. There are certain levels of development that he should get to before we say he's ready for marriage. First, you have to move away from your father's obi and get your own. You have to have your own farmland. That is to say that you are now self-dependent.
So you can now have that entitlement.
You can protect and provide for your wife too. So until you are able to get those things, you will not be able to have a good marriage, because women are creatures of comfort. There's nothing you can do about that.
That's when it can be said that a man has grown up.
Yes,
that's not by age.
Yes, that is when you are mature.
Yeah, mature. Yeah,
that is when we say you are ready for marriage.
Yes.
So until you have gotten to that state, there's no point going to look for a wife to marry, because you're going to complicate things and you're going to stress the woman, and no woman wants to be stressed. I don't want my sister to be stressed, and I don't want to stress another person's daughter. So there must be a level of the ability to provide on the side of the man, and there must be the ability to protect his wife. So until a man has gotten to that point, he shouldn't start looking for a woman to marry. He should be able to look after himself before he starts looking for somebody to look after.
And I want to comment on that.
Okay.
When you see our world today, you see that he made the two important points. A man is a protector and a provider. You see there is a paradigm shift. Today we see in many homes, the woman is now the provider, while the man claims to be the protector. When the man is not providing, the woman might not give the man the full authority to protect. And that becomes a problem. That becomes like a power tussle in the family. And it leads to disrespect. It leads to a lot of things in the family. So it is advisable that even in our Western world today, the world we are today, as much as a man wants to be a protector, let him also strive to be a provider.
That's very important. That's very, very good. Please, Comrade Udunna Franklin, relationship today is transactional. True or false?
Yes, true.
Can you give us more insight?
When today it is no longer as it was before. Let me use nature to drive it home. The mother hen with the chick.
Okay.
It is created in a way that once it gives birth, everywhere she goes, the chick goes with her. Whether into the farm to look for food, fighting the hawk, everything the chicks are with her until they come of age. Now, before, our mothers are not professionals in fields. They are not career chasers. But today, our ladies are career chasers. And they are professionals going to work in different ways. Work for what end? To make ends meet. Because they don't think what they want to suffer. So now this has a very great effect on relationship today. Because many ladies, I have encountered a lady who said, I can't marry a man who I earn more than. So in that regard, she has already stereotyped her concept and mindset on marriage. And there is nothing you will tell her to come down to the level of a man who is either struggling to come up or who is not up to that particular level she is. And why are we seeing most career ladies yet unmarried? Because of the standards
they set for themselves.
Are you with me? Because of the standards they have set for themselves. So they keep on hoping and longing to get married to a man who is up there. Whereas in our Nigerian economy, being realistic, in fact, women are even more favored in the economy now than men.
Yes.
I could remember when I started, okay? Ladies, female couples will always be given a free ride. Where we will be, burning under the hot sun. Okay, nobody is ready to lift you. Okay?
So you find out that things that we are more money conscious than what you call love. Now, when you talk about love, I used to tell people, you are love. God is love. You don't get loved from people or from things. If you don't have love within you, name of that word non-habit. You can't give what you don't have. So most people get disappointed.
Say Nemo
that poor non-habit. No one gives what he doesn't have.
You see, why we
call him a philosopher.
So that is just the truth there. People are no longer interested in love because they don't have love. But that is the truth. So it is more transactional.
Okay. Pastor Yuson, I'll come to you, but before now, you still tell us whether love today is transactional, okay? But before then, His Royal Majesty, I want to ask, are there some dangers in marrying a career woman? I overheard one of my friends say, I cannot marry a career woman. And I was trying to find out why he said so. He said that, he is a bit of age. He said that so many things he has lost, the bonding and everything, that the woman can be a career woman, but that you will always be available. You can take a break, and maybe after some years, he will establish you to own that particular whatever thing it is, just like marrying a nurse. You just come back and she will establish a hospital or whatsoever where you will be in charge. You'll be at liberty to go to work and come back, at will, so that you take care of the family. So are there some dangers in marrying a core career woman?
Of course, there are always dangers in marrying a career woman. There are also dangers in marrying a non-career woman. So, but it all depends on the man.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you, there was something a comrade said. We have the epidemic of materialism, where both the men and the women are infected by materialism. That makes it difficult for the ordinary person, the average person, to keep a home, because sometimes the woman's expectation exceeds your own income. And sometimes the expectation, thrown on you by the society also puts a lot of pressure on you. But there's something I want to say before I talk about the dangers of marrying a career woman and how it relates to the man. You see, when God, nature, designs the body to fit from the head, that is the head. Everything that goes into the body goes in through the head, vis-a-vis the mouth.
You can say that again.
Yes, that is how God designed the human body. And marriage is a body that has a head, and the man is the head. The provision is supposed to come through the head. All right. Now, at any time that you discover the human body taking fluid or food from the parts of the body, be it infusion, injection, whatever, know that something is wrong.
Abnormal.
Yes,
Definitely.
Yeah, you have a point.
Something is wrong with the body.
Yes.
And it should not last. Just like revolt is a medicine of the constitution, not its daily bread. That is how infusion is a medicine to the body. When a woman begins to feed the household, know that it's a medicine. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be so.
It's an error.
Yes, it's an error.
And shouldn't last.
No, it shouldn't last.
Not that this condition shouldn't come.
It can come. The body can get sick.
Yes.
And then when the body gets sick, you can give it infusion through the veins, through other parts of the body. But it shouldn't last.
It should be for a moment.
Yes. So when a man finds himself disadvantaged in a family and the woman begins to be the breadwinner, it shouldn't last. So talking about a career woman, I said it depends on the man. If you have a man who is self-confident, if you have a man who is well-to-do, then a career woman will be a complement to the marriage, not a threat.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you have a man who doesn't have self-confidence, who have trust issues, then the career woman becomes a threat, because he will always suspect that something is going wrong. Even sometimes, with her good intentions, he may misinterpret it because he doesn't have self-confidence.
Yeah.
He will say, this one you're coming late this time, you must have gone to do this, that, because he doesn't have self-confidence.
He's being threatened.
Yes, he feels threatened.
Yeah.
Even when she's making certain progresses, if he himself is not self-confident and he's not making his own progress, he will feel threatened too by her own blessings and by her own effort. Then what is the second threat? The other threat comes from the woman. If you're a career woman and maybe perchance at a particular point you are earning more than your husband, it is not a criterion for you to become rude and arrogant.
Become the head.
it doesn't make you the head. You should see it as a privilege that you are able to do this for the family. It shouldn't be a reason to deride the man because you are doing well. So a career woman should also know that her family should come first. A certain time that she has to sacrifice part of her career, maybe not all, part of her career time, to make sure she stays with the family. And if you also discover that your husband is that kind of person who is threatened by your progress, then you need to be more discreet in how you display your success and your progress with him. So these are the dangers.
This is where courtship comes in also. Because the essence of courtship is to get to know each other. There are some men, naturally, they feel threatened by a woman's success or advance in career. So in courtship, you will definitely know this. Because I won't advise any of my sisters to be in the kitchen always. And God did not actually create women just to give birth. They have potentials. Yes, they have potentials that they need to live out. So, relationship and courtship is where we unveil all these things, and then know whether this is because today's relationship now, many people think about compatibility in sex, not in other areas of life. They limit it to sexuality. But our body is beyond the sexual aspect of it.
At what age should one think of, entering into relationship or, courtship, as the case may be? So can you, tell us?
Okay, when you come to age, there are what we call tripartite stages of development. Between the age of 1 to, let me say 30, or no, not 30, 18, are times that you have opportunity to explore so many things in life. When you come to your career, like today's society, we have students who already they are bonding in the school, whereas they are meant to be in school. And then
secondary school students.
Secondary school bonding, university students also in a very tight.
No, those ones are married in school already.
Yeah, married.
let me say this. One of my guys said that some people may not enjoy their marriages more than how they enjoyed it in school.
Do you know? I was speaking with someone the other day.
It's possible.
On issue of sexual unsatisfaction in marriage.
Yeah.
I told the person that the reason God designed that, even in the Bible times, God designed that a woman should go to her husband's house as a virgin.
Okay.
And then when you go to your husband's house as a virgin, there won't be an issue of sexual unsatisfaction. Why? I'm not a biologist, but this is what I feel. A woman who has gone to many men, through many men. If you have gone to a man that took any drug in order to enhance his sexual satisfaction, maybe the man was the person that is virgin you, he lasted for 30 minutes or 1 hour on bed, and after that the next man lasted for 30 minutes as the case may be, then you get married, your husband who is not ready to take anything. Because
it's not really to do it to impress anybody.
It's lasting for only 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You feel unsatisfied. Why? Because you have been able, you have done
experience.
You have had experience.
Yeah.
Your sexual peak have increased. But if you are coming into marriage without having any sex with any man, your sexual peak is at the level which your husband
has taken
you to.
Yeah.
So I think that is what I feel. And because of that, it leads to many issues in marriage, and it has broken many homes.
And for us not also digress on the age question you asked, at what age? It depends on culture and perspective.
Yes.
Because like the houses, they don't look at they're living at a minor age of even 15, 16.
Yeah, I've seen marriages celebrated at 14. Yeah.
Yes, whereas over there in the US or Western world, you see them, most of them at 18, they're already out of the family house.
Yeah.
Now you cannot compare it with what happens in the African here, wherein we are attached to our parents even at 20 something.
In India, my village.
So it all depends on culture and but naturally, when we talk about age of gains, relationship or courtship, we should be thinking about 20, 21 from up.
Okay, before I come to Pastor, you're going to give us advice for the young people today. His Royal Majesty, you made mention of Osu.
Yes.
And that caught my attention. So is Osu still, practiced today?
Of course, yes.
Truly?
Yes, there are certain parts of Igbo land that still maintains that culture of Osu.
Tell us more, and with respect to what we are discussing today. So should we dive into asking such questions to find out if Nkechi is an Osu or not?
Okay, the word Osu, certain times I like to classify the word Osu. People just see Osu as somebody who is a taboo.
Okay.
All right, but the word Osu has a lot of divisions. For instance, here in the Ungwa land, we may not practice Osu like people in Anambra and Imo do, but we still have certain types of Osu in our land. What
is Osu in a nutshell?
Yes, Osu is somebody who is dedicated. Normally, they are usually people who are descendants of those who are dedicated to deities.
Okay.
So we see them as not marriable. We also have Osu who came from the lineage of those who committed abominations.
Okay.
Like if your father commits an abomination and he's ostracized or banished, so the children are seen as lineage of somebody who has committed an abomination, and they are seen to be unmarriable. So, but even at that, in our culture, we have Osu. Osu, I can say, if you want to get married to somebody and they say he is Maj, can you marry that person?
I've seen that Maji, and that Maji had children in my village.
It depends on who married. It depends on who married that Maji.
Okay.
If it's somebody who's one Joko, would you go and marry one Joko? One Joko is meant to marry Maj, right?
Okay.
Yes, because that's what the culture dictates. So you don't just go marry anybody. So Osu in a way is somebody who is seen as separate, different from the normal people.
So Osu can marry Osu?
Yes, Osu can marry Osu. So just like
but that doesn't mean they are not marriable, just like
that's what I'm saying. It depends on who is coming for the marriage. And Osu marries an Osu. Okay. So the normal people, we see them as abnormal. People you shouldn't intermarry with. So one Joko will marry Maj, because they are in the same, would I say in the same court or in the same circumstance. All right. So, but the ordinary person would not want to go and marry.
But I think today so many people have overlooked these things and go.
Yes, they have been it's being watered down. Okay. Due to the coming of, would I say enlightenment, people are watering down the whole Osu stuff. Sometimes I tell people that even the white people practice Osu. Yes. There was a time I was making an argument. Not all Osu is bad though. Yes, when a man commits an abomination in our climate in those days, let me assume that he commits incest or he does something that's quite abominable. We send the person to the evil forest, because we don't have the prison system here. But the white man, when you commit such abomination, he sends you to prison. What is the function of your prison and what is the function of evil forest? Is it not the same? They are playing the same role. Yes, now you are confining somebody to a prison for incest, maybe for rape. And then our fathers who didn't have the luxury of a prison, they will send you to the evil forest. It's not the same thing.
It's also in the Bible. Osu is also in the Bible.
Yes, it's in the Bible, of course.
Of course.
Osupa.
It's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible.
Where?
When Judas betrayed Jesus, was it not casted? And then the word that says, "Let his land be desolate." and let not man or thereabouts. It gets not biblical. You must banned from anything. Let nobody associate with you. Whatever that, this is Osu. You just contact the Osu. I will respond to it.
Let me add to that. When God told the children of Israel, do not marry from this tribe, this Gentile tribe, is that not like Osu?
Let me respond.
Okay, please do respond, then you give us that.
The truth is that when we talk about issue of Osu, God have always wanted his children to intermarry, to marry among believers, their fellow believers. And I'm coming now. To marry among their fellow believers.
Yes.
That is why we encourage Christians marry Christians. And in this, what is the danger of marrying a non-believer is because of the influence that a wife can have upon the husband. But when Jesus came, Jesus made us to understand we all are one. The context of Osu and the context of God telling his children marry among believers are not the same. Because the context of Osu is that when someone becomes an Osu, the person cannot convert to become a believer. That is the context of Osu. But the context of unbelievers in the biblical sense, a Gentile can convert to become a Christian. And when a Gentile converts to become a Christian, you are licensed to marry that person. So it's not the same context. So when you look at Osu and the Mmaji, you see that when you become an Mmaji, you are Mmaji forever. When you become an Osu, you are an Osu forever.
Person is not convertible.
That person is not convertible. But Jesus made us to know that when one accepts Jesus, him, when one repents, the person, we all are one. We are together. So it's not the same context. When we say Osu was in the Bible, it's not the same context. It's like today, I can marry from my maternal home. Do you understand?
But that doesn't mean
that my maternal home is Osu.
Okay.
I can marry from my village. That doesn't mean my village people are Osu. Do you understand? So the issue of
that one is respect for brotherhood. And it's our culture.
It's our culture. So the issue of Osu deals with worshiping idolatry. As a Christian, you will see it as idol worship. Do you understand? But as an African traditional religion, you will see it as something that is normal. So anyone who is a Christian sees it as an idol worship because it is tied to idols and many other gods. When someone is a daughter of a god, something like that. So I think that I just decided to respond to him pointing it from the Bible sense.
You know, my man is controversial.
He wanted to go my leg, so
yes, he is just a group of people who are outcast.
Yes.
Yeah, who either like he that explanation, it isn't even what led me to mention the Bible. Okay. It's just a simple stuff. You committed a crime, you become an outcast. And once you become an outcast, everybody is meant to avoid you. Just like people cannot, nobody wants to answer Judas Iscariot. Is that not true? He's an outcast.
Do you know that
nobody wants to answer Jezebel?
Judas Iscariot
is an outcast.
Judas Iscariot chose his fate.
That is
Osu people didn't choose their fate.
No, what if you commit an abomination and you are ostracized? You've chosen your fate.
Let's go. In the context of Osu, when someone commits an abomination, the person does not have. That is why Christianity is a very wonderful religion. In the context of Osu, when someone commits an abomination, the person does not have any time to repent and come back to become a normal human being. Like Judas, if Judas had come back,
like Peter,
like Peter, God would have given Judas a second chance. Do you understand?
Okay, please, next time we'll talk about Osu properly. Okay, so please go ahead and give us advice.
But the truth is that when we talk about to my fellow young people, our brother said today that relationship is more of transactional. And I agree with him that because looking at it, it seems that relationship is more transactional because today we see selfishness in relationship. People no more ask what is this person suitable for me. The question now has changed to what can he offer. So I think that our people need to be careful, because when relationship is based on luxury, it becomes a problem. When God created man, He said it is not good for him to live alone. Adam, the question was not what can Eve give Adam. So I think we need to be careful. Another advice I will give is when we look at the olden days, when a young man approached a girl and asked for the lady's hand in marriage, the lady will run straight to the mother. See the person that is asking me for to marry him. Do you understand? No, yeah. Then the mother will go tell the father, see the person that is coming for our daughter's hand in marriage. From there, advice will come. But today we see that role models have changed. Social media, we now have social media influencers who are now role models dictators for our single ones. Yeah. Those who will tell you, I can't take any nonsense from a man, but at the back here, they are already taking nonsense from men. But they will come on to the screen and tell you they can't take nonsense. So role models have changed. You see a lot of people cohabitating among themselves. A young lady and a man a boy coming together, cohabitating, using it to do content, and people are taking them as role models. So we need to understand that these people are not worthy to be our role model. They are not worthy. God's design for relationship and marriage is for us to know how we can be able to be compatible together even in marriage. So it is a very wonderful advice for us to let's go back to how relationship was. Relationship those days was good. I can remember those days when I see my father coming and I'm standing with a young lady. I will run inside the bush. I will leave the lady there, I will run inside the bush. That was when respect was there. But today you see that this sense of respect has gone and our relationship is degrading and many things are going abnormal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, Comrade Franklin. Is sex allowed during relationship before marriage, during courtship? Should sex be part of the courtship roles or obligations as the case may be?
Yeah, I've just put him on the hot seat. I'm glad I'm not him. I'm glad I'm not him now.
Well,
just try to summarize. We're almost done.
I'm not interested in the morality of sex. Okay, as a Christian, no.
As a Muslim,
I'm waiting for it.
I know Pastor is looking for a scapegoat.
Okay.
But it's a serious matter.
But
as a Christian,
yeah,
the answer is no.
Okay.
Shouldn't.
Because Christianity brings the morality.
But okay, well, I've taken no from you. Okay, let me go to His Royal Majesty.
You're looking for who to crucify. I will dodge you philosophically. Let me tell you, this is a very serious issue and it's fundamental.
Yes.
Now, like you said, from the Christian perspective, from the advice of the Bible, it is good to get into marriage, in a chaste form. But unfortunately, the problems, the issue of decadence in our society makes that commandment very difficult to keep, if not impossible. I'll give an instance. I have a friend who got married to a young man. She was a Christian, Assemblies of God Church. So when she met this guy and he proposed, she said to him, "We will not do that, The man quickly said yes. She felt it was out of respect for the scripture and for her own desire. She did not know that the man was actually important.
Ooh.
Yes. She got married to him and discovered that when night comes, the man is a boiled spaghetti on the bed.
Hey.
After some time, that thing brought problems.
Like boiled
spaghetti. I didn't mean not boiled spaghetti. Boiled spaghetti. So it was useless to a woman in bed. So after some time, she tried and the thing was not working.
Oh.
She, within months, the guy out of shame left her. And then she had to go for divorce. She just got married, I think last year. She remarried last year. So tell me, if she had tested before marriage, she will have avoided that problem. You know what it means to get married, you know, in a glamorous way, and after 3 months you're out of the marriage. It's not really good. So if you look at it from that point,
what I ordered versus what
I got. If you look at it,
that's Temu version of husband.
Yes. So if you look at it from that point, you will say, test before you marry. But if you look at it from the scripture says you should not do. So you will endure as she endured.
From this scenario, Pastor, please, how can we handle this? From the scenario that His Royal Majesty has painted. So how should we handle this particular case?
Let me start from the scenario he gave. I think that we need to first of all cast blame on the issue of trust and sincerity in relationship. The young man was not sincere. The young man had no love. Because if you love the woman, you would have been sincere to her, opened up to her. There's a woman you will tell your challenge, she will still marry you and miss that your condition. Do you understand? She will still marry you and miss that your condition. Yes, I know. There's a woman you will tell, see my challenge. What the young man, if he decides to marry, there's a woman what gets a woman angry is when you feel that you are deceitful and she is coming into the marriage and that marriage is not being built on deceit. It becomes dangerous. So trust was not in the marriage.
Yes.
Opening up was not in the marriage, and sincerity was not there. The marriage was built on deceit, and that is why it ended that way. So when we talk about issue of purity and sex before marriage, sex is God made sex as a seal for marriage and not a start for a relationship. He made sex as a seal for marriage. So when we talk about sex, when you have sex with a man, you are in a relationship, it clouds your judgment. You see chemistry as love. You will see chemistry as love. Now, let me tell, for example, biblically in John chapter 4, we see the story of a woman at the well. The woman at the well. Some of us know the story. The Bible said that this woman had 5 husbands. Then the one she is living with is not her husband. Do you understand? So which means this woman has gone through 6 men and she's still not married. And when she came to draw water from the well, Jesus said, I want to give you water that will make you not to run thirst again. We know that sex is like water. Everybody needs it. You will need it. Even if you don't do it, it will come. Do you understand? So it is what we do for in order to live. God created it just like water. Sex is like water. So Jesus said, for me to give you water, go call your husband. For me to give you the water that will make you not to run thirst again, go call your husband. This woman was not demon possessed. So why will Jesus ask her to go call the husband when Jesus is talking about an issue of water? That is one question we should ask ourselves. And immediately the woman understood that Jesus knew her condition. The bucket she had, she wanted to use and draw water, she threw it away. What lesson are we to learn from here? Sex is not about physical only. Sex is also spiritual. Do you understand me? Sex is also spiritual. And that is why if I marry a young lady today, we are not from the same father, we are not from the same mother, we are not from, and we don't relate. Our faces are different. But 1 year, 2 years, if you look at me and her, if you look at me and my wife now, you will think that the two of us, we have a resemblance. That's why sex is more of spiritual than physical. Many of us, we see it as an exchange of flesh. It is an exchange of spirit. So when a young lady who is not married, you dated the first person, you slept with that person, you exchanged the spirit of that person, gave him your own, he collected your own. Then you went to the second person, there was an exchange of spirit. You went to the third person, there was an exchange of fourth, fifth, as the case may be. That was the problem of the woman at the well. She had 6 spirits tormenting her. And that is why she can't act normal. She will always look for water to drink, thinking that water is what will quench her thirst. But no, that is why Jesus said, I will offer you something that will make you never to run dry again. And that is why when you look at issue of relationship and sex, you see that many of our ladies, when you start it, stopping it is difficult. Do you understand?
I think we'll stop so far. On a later day, we're going to talk about infidelity. Okay, and we'll also look at polygamy, as the case may be. So maybe by then, some other things concerning what we're talking about now will come up. So thank you so very much, His Royal Majesty as a Prince with Odo. Please, your last word.
Okay, for me, I like to say, if you want to have a good marriage, let us look at nature. I always have the traditional perspective to things, because what you see is your perception, but how you see it is your perspective. I believe that women should endeavor to submit to their men. He is always the authority in the house. Both scripturally and traditionally, the man should be the authority in the house, and it should be up to the woman to decide who to submit to. Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much, Pastor You Sunday.
All right. I thank everyone. My last word: as a woman and as a man, I will rather marry a woman who knows how to make money than the one who already has the money. Do you understand? And the who knows how to make the money than the one who already. You might not have the money today, but if you know how to make the money,
we are good to go.
We are good to go. And so that should be the priority of every woman. The wisdom and the man.
What about who knows how to cook?
and who is very active in the other room as well?
Is the other room. That's for comrade.
So as a young lady who is about getting married, who is waiting for the right partner, pray and relax. The Lord will help. Every other thing, when God gives you the man, He will not give you the one that is infertile. He will not give you the one that doesn't know how to cook, and He said He will give you the one that you desire. Your heart is the one that is better, perfect for you. Thank you so much.
Your last word, comrade, Franklin.
Thank you so much. We have dealt well on relationship and courtship and marriage. Now, relationship, we have to make it known that the only absolute relationship is the relationship we have with God. Wherein you go and come back, you offend Him, He's still there as a God for you.
I'm telling you.
He doesn't go. But when it comes to human relationship, you must be offering something for that relationship to keep on being there. Any day you stop offering what you are known for or you are known for, that relationship will gradually start dying. Another will start offering that, which will take up that relationship. The man will not continue to be there with you. The woman will not continue to be there with you. Once you are no longer giving what you have been given. So it is variable. You must be giving something. As long as you want to enter into a relationship, you must have something to offer for the relationship to stand. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. That is all we have for today. Please do stay tuned. We have a whole lot lined up on the series, in the series Back to the Roots, Now and Then. It's all about lifestyle. Keep on engaging on FaceToface TV.
Face to face, now they read my eyes.